Throw Gang, we are joined by the OMC MVP, How Bazaar, Lauren Schlossman, and myself, the mayor of Rack City Bitch, Rack City Bitch, James Harris. Welcome to the weekly running of the boys.
10, 10s, 20s on your Jones, bitch.
With today's full episode only available on
Patreon.com/throwingfits.
Before we get into rizzing up Emrata, scaring the hoes at the Bushwick rave, and trolling Vogue, let's get into some Bazaar housekeeping. It is upon us.
We're here. It's Bazaar Week, baby.
It is Bazaar Week. Okay, September 16th, address 440 Grand Street in New York City. It's this church. You'll see it. The hours are 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. only for Cash App Pink holders. That's one of the perkies that you get if you show up after signing up for the Cash App Pink card. So 11 to 12 p.m. hour only for Cash App Pink card holders. 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the unwashed masses. To run through the sellers, it's just murderer's row.
Let's go.
Of John's enthusiasts.
Hit them up.
Vintage Vikings. What is it?
Hoarder homies.
Hoarder homies. Mainly these John Carmonica. Okay. Noah Johnson. So there will be Evan Canori on site.
Ooh, we added the fucking narc that himself at
Late
the 25th
edition.
hour.
Yeah, and I think Sam Hines gonna throw some Johns in there on his rack. So
That's
just a whole
the
little
rumor.
GQ booth. Noah Johnson, John Carmonica, Fantasy Explosion, Nolita Dirtbag, Intramural Shop, La Jacinta, Chad Senzel, Mildred Vintage, Despot, Josh Peskowitz, myself, yourself, the Throwing Fits Groms, a.k.a. Chuck and Rob Kelly, Brandon Mahler, Hugo Mendoza, Luke Fracher, Alex Delaney, Sean Crawford, Bradley Carbone, and Brandon Jenkins. Real quick, we just locked in the food. Honestly, might be one of the low-key highlights of the Bazaar.
Yeah.
Food is going to be done by the homie Joey at Leo. He's R&D'ing like a new kind of like meat kebab on some
doner kebab.
on some homemade sourdough pita. Pico oysters, so there will be fresh oysters just getting shucked all day.
Nuck if you shuck.
And the homie Pervez, who does this thing called chot dogs, which is hot dogs, but with like Indian-style chutneys and like fried onions and toppings, as well as a walking chot, which is like a Frito pie, which I know as a Texas-man, it's just like a Frito pie, but with like Indian-style toppings. They're fucking delicious, and they go great with the beers provided by Ebbs Brewing and the hard seltzers provided by Onda.
I cannot wait for an Indian glizzy, bro. I'm so excited. That's I mean, all the fucking food sounds amazing, but
Gobi
for me,
glizzy?
I'm gonna be fucking first in line. And I will say this. If you have your fucking pink card, you got Cash App downloaded on your phone, you don't need the physical card. Perky's call in. Hopefully you entered the giveaway because that wrapped today, September 11th.
Afternoon. Yeah.
Never forget. The giveaway is over.
Only Throwing Fits would do a fly out on September 11th.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that the winner, which will be selected randomly, is like a Make-A-Wish patron cord member winner. Who's to say? But for everybody else, all that aside, spending money in your Cash App account. Boom. And, if you pay with Cash App, you might get a motherfucking discount. Something to consider. Early entry, like James said, you can come in at 11 before the hordes. Pick through all the good shit before it gets picked over. Fast lane, skip the line, VIP access if you cannot make it at 11 a.m. because you got a big Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, brunch, Home Depot, Lowe's, farmer's market, whatever. Big Saturday.
Weather's looking nice.
Don't know if
like
there'll be enough time.
Looking like it might be actually fall John's appropriate type weather. So excited for that. But if you can't come at 11 for the early bird special, you can still skip the line.
Yeah, and then finally, free food from all the delicious vendors we just mentioned. Free merch as well. So show up, have your fucking app and pink card access ready because if you don't, you're just fucking stupid.
I know, it's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
All right. Bazaar, 9/16.
We'll see you on Saturday.
11 a.m. to 6 p.m., 440 Grand Street, New York City. We'll see you there.
Don't meet us there, beat us there. You already know, dude. That's the tagline. Get there and fucking show up to fucking shell out.
Rack City, bitch. Lawrence, you want to do a fit check?
Sure. Upstairs, I was wearing Loewe crushable loafers. I got the threadies on the dogs.
Are you going to have any used threadies for sale?
No, dude. I need all my pairs, bro. I'll probably be wearing a pair of threadies if you want me. Listen,
honestly, worth the price of admission alone just to come and roast this man to his face.
For a measly $5, I will unsheath the threadies foreskin in person. I am wearing a combination of vintage pickups from our wonderful friend Kathleen Sobara at Chickies. I have
Congrats on 1 year, I believe.
Of the men's shop, yes.
I believe it's been 1 year this week.
Woo! One of the best vintage spots in the city.
Hands
Unfortunately, she will not be at the Bazaar, but
because she's busy with the 1 year. But anyway, yeah. Chickies is obviously one of our faves.
Double pleated, Venti, Ralphie, linen, brownies on the Tookus.
Because you saw Mordecai earlier. That's why you're talking Yiddish.
Yeah. He was. A lot of people were like, "Yo, you just let this man fat shame you." I'm like, because he was like, "Chubby boy, chunky monkey," and I'm like, he's talking about the socks.
The old Larry.
Though I will say, everybody that I've seen this week who I haven't seen in a long time, and you've had to bear witness to this, is just like, begrudgingly, I'm sure, is just like, "Oh, dude, you look so good." And it's like, how bad did I look before?
Real bad, I guess, to answer your question.
Yeah.
And then how is that affecting your ego? Like, are you going to eat like less than 1 meal a day now?
No. And also, like, people are shocked and appalled when I like explain how it's happened.
Yeah, they're always, you're like, yeah, I'm on Mexican. I'm on Ozempica.
I've moved away from trying to explain that.
I'm on Ozempica and doing 1 meal a day, and they're like, oh, how do I ask about this man's eating disorder without being offensive? And they're like, oh, like, what meal do you choose for your 1 meal a day? And you're like, yeah, 4 p.m. lunch, duh.
For everyone that was asking and really begging for me to give up the Mexican Adderall / Ozempic plug, they shut down production.
Oh, really?
So it no longer is passing the muster below the border. So I got like 2 pills left, and then we'll see what happens.
Damn, you're about to fucking yo-yo like Oprah, baby.
Yeah.
But no, it is funny. Like, people are like, they're like, oh my God, I'm paying you a compliment. Oh, I'm really now so uncomfortable because I don't know how to proceed.
It's a tough convo because, like, I'm not one to lie. And when people hear that you only eat 1 meal a day, they want to know the logistics of that. What are you eating? And
well, I think that also just like, why would you deprive yourself of one of the only good things in this world, which is eating delicious food?
My 1 meal on Saturday is going to be 3 kebabs, a dozen fresh oysters, and roughly, I don't know, a Larry's dozen Indian cuisines.
The chat dogs, baby.
It's going to be a big 1 meal. Okay, the shirt is Vinti Giorgio Armansky. I'm wearing a Hanes Palace One Pleaser.
Is it also from
Chickies? Yeah. Okay. That was the shorts and shirt combination. Metalwood Studios cap, rollie on the wrist, wedding ring on the fingy, wifey on the pinky, was wearing Sun Buddies upstairs. I'm going to have a ton of Sun Buddies. I have way too many sunglasses. And shout out the homies. Shout out the Hog, man. Yeah. Shout out his broski. Shout out Trey Bien everywhere. Especially my booth.
I haven't even gone through
so many accessories.
But yeah, no, I need to do that for sure. I'm saving Friday as like one last like pickover for the Bazaar because like I don't even know where. I guess it's on my storage unit, but I was like, where is all my shit that I've definitely packed up?
Where did it go?
I hope I show up to the Bazaar with stuff.
How many closets?
Just kidding, I will.
How many closets do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 skeet. 5. One's a shoe closet.
All right. Well, I'm sure in one of those 5, there's going to be a lot of tasty Johns that will be available at James Harris's booth.
No, there's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, a lot of like our legacy that doesn't fit me anymore. Like a lot of our legacy. Yeah. A lot of flow that just like for whatever reason just isn't going to make the cut.
One of the collab tees is in there, right? In a small size.
A Throwing Fits Our Legacy Workshop Slam Jam exclusive at Slam Jam that we only gave away to the homies. There was an extra small left over. So fellas,
extra small.
It's a 44.
Wait, is it a small or is it an extra small?
It's an extra small.
Okay,
so fellas, if you're on your wave shit like Lawrence, or if you want to pick one up for the girly, or if you're a girl, come through. This would fit on. Then come through,
or just the fucking Twinkie they them.
Also, I'm definitely I found a bag of leftover pod shorts and I'm just selling them at $20 a pop. And I'm keeping all that, by the way. That's holding money. That's holding money. That's a tax. That's a tax.
Put it in the Chase account.
Honestly, here's what we're gonna do.
What are we gonna do?
Whatever money I make via Cash App, because that's the platform we're using, or Square at the Bazaar. Whatever money make on
cold hard cash.
Whatever money make on pod shorts will go into a Bazaar happy hour beer fund.
Ooh,
all right,
that's right.
If we sell a bunch of shorts, come back at 5, show me the shorts you bought, I'll give you a beer.
Oh, you didn't mention the drink sponsors.
I did.
Oh,
Drinks by Ebbs and Onda, just to repeat.
Oh, my bad. Same sponsors last year. If you came through and you waited, you fucking slogged through that 2-hour line, which is not going to happen again this year, inshallah. You will know that we got fucking tasty lagers and tasty tequila. Yeah. What is that, like a spritzer? What is that?
It's just like a tequila soda in a can, I think. They're really really fucking good.
And you already know fucking Drake is an investor, so what more do I need to say?
Exactly.
Free drinks for all the dogs. Finally,
Tequila seltzer combination.
Supreme Hanes on the cock and balls. Yes, racist. I'm wearing racist underwear. And drinking a hydro flask full of Green Point's Finance. Let's throw it to you, Jimbo.
Upstairs, I was wearing the Oakley Chopsaw Mules, which get a lot of attention.
Oakley Factory Team.
Excuse me. Shout out Aaliyah, shout out Kyle. I love them, but I always thought they're kind of like a low-key shoe, but like anytime I wear them, people are like, yo, like, how are they? Like, are they good?
They might be high-key.
Are they comfortable? They're high-key, I guess. South to West State linen pantalones.
What socks?
Which I'm loving. I don't know what brand this is. I just Googled, like, no brand or brandless quarter length socks.
Yeah.
And it's got these.
They look like Uniqlo, but apparently not.
No, they're like some like fake, like Chinese.
Fugazi-Clo?
Like fake athletic socks.
Nice,
With like, compression around the middle. No, whatever.
The Fuji.
South to West State pants. Lady White Co. Polo. Leisure Senta DJ Screw Hat, the J. Crew parody, which also gets a lot of fucking love.
Yeah.
Shout out Frank the Mad
I wonder
Dog.
if Frank will be bringing, because Frank and Seth are definitely going to have some tasty treats. I wonder if they're going to have any leftovers of those.
I mean, I was in the shop last week, and they had some out on display.
Let's go, baby. Pull
yeah.
up and get your own Galleria Edition DJ Screw Flip.
Exactly. Butta Vanilla on the pinky, Ring Concierge on the pointer. What else? Oh, and
Maria Tash and the Lobe.
Oh, Maria Tash and the Lobe, and Martin Margiela, ex Gentle Monster, Sonny's, courtesy of a homie that we'll talk about later. Why we were able to get them from her because we got to pay from her.
We booked a very highly anticipated, I'm sure, Friday fiasco, and she came through bearing free flow that she got when she checked out of her hotel.
She didn't want anymore.
Do you want this shit? I have no room in my suitcases.
Yeah. All right. I'm sipping on Green Point's Finest and an iced coffee from, what's the Isaac like shit? What's the best cafe?
Damn, you nailed it. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. What's the best cafe?
Euro Coffee or Udo Coffee.
Udo.
It's just a bunch of Polish goons just pushing out like very not good tasting coffee, but it's like $2 for like a 20 ounce of iced coffee.
You can only pay with cash or Venmo. Kind of like reverse Bazaar rules.
Yeah, it's not. They're not. Whatever their relationship with the IRS, we'll let them hash out themselves on their own podcast.
I think I said some mean stuff about Polish people last week, but I will say this coffee. Listen, man, it might make you dumber, but it'll keep you awake.
And it'll only run you a few dollars. Because it is not.
What's the best cafe?
It is not artisanal. I'll just say that.
That was so good.
Normally I suck at Australian, New Zealand accents. I'm fired at everything else, as everyone knows. But yeah.
You know what we fucked up when we were doing our whole little Russell Crowe segment, big Russell Crowe pod. He and Isaac, who is maybe like the biggest super fan of the show, who will text us like live updates when he listens, because he's just the best dude. We were saying, or I said that he was Australian. He's New Zealand.
Oh, really?
New Zealand claims. Russell Crowe.
I honestly didn't know that.
Yeah, well, listen, you learn something new every day, baby.
Who's
the best actor? Not as good, but we try.
I will have my vengeance. It's time for the next. All right. Check,
I was just screeching.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this fucking podcast.
Yeah. Dude, and you know why we had and I already slammed my iced coffee. The boys are fucking fried. The boys are cooked. But you know what? It's what we do to get out in these streets and create content for you good paying folks at home.
It's been a long week.
Longer than a week, bro.
Has it been longer than a week? No, it's been just under a week.
It feels like a year,
it's been a long
dude.
5 days.
It
kicked off with the Throwing Fits x Basic.Space NYFW kickoff at Parcelle. Where shout out Vesper, shout out Basic.Space. We co-hosted this event where it was just like, yo, invite only. Let's just invite the homies. Let's be like, all right, chill.
Easy money.
Bite. I mean, it wasn't that chill. But eat some bites just to get you prepped and set up. And like, this week kind of sucks because you end up having the same conversations with the same people over and over and over. And then it's like, at a certain point, you're just like, oh, yeah, how was your week going? Sure is hot out, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fucking L train again. Am I right? Like, actually, taking a city bike's faster than taking the train between shows.
Yeah, true. Or you see, a borderline, well, for me, a real friend, for you, a borderline friend, colleague, and it's like, I just talk to you all the time anyway, so it's like, hey, thanks for coming. I appreciate you. But
I think this is meant to be like, all right, let's like actually have a chill hang with the homies and then just like actually be able to catch up and not in like a yo, oh my god, how are you going? How's it going? Gotta go, see ya. So yeah, shout out Basic.Space.
I had never been
the
to
damn thing at Parcelle.
I had never been to the Parcelle Wine bar. I've been to the new like beer bar. Dude, that's a date spot.
Oh, for sure.
If I was like in the mix, if I was in the game, dude, that would be number one on my list.
Yeah.
Good people watching.
Very sexy lighting. Great like outdoor situation.
Delicious bites.
Delicious bites.
Delicious wine.
I didn't have any bites, unfortunately, but delicious wine.
Oh, we know.
Delicious wine. I was gone off the white.
You hadn't been drinking, I feel like, for a while, and you just like fucking went for it.
Well, it's not that. It's that. Well, it was also the hottest day of all time.
Bro, it was so brutal.
It was so hot.
At least it didn't rain. Could have been worse.
It didn't rain. Shout out everyone for beating the heat. To come beat the meat with the fucking.
There was charcuterie.
There was a charcuterie board. Yeah, I guess the one thing. Oh, the one complaint we had. And this isn't a shot at anything, but Brenda hashtag shows up. She's like, "Yo, where the vegan options at?" And you and I were in charge of making the food selects.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh shit, you can't eat fried chicken or oysters
Cheese?
or tuna crudo or a giant wheel parm."
Yeah, fucking mussels. I know it's a bummer too because
I did have some mussels. Those are fucking tasty.
I sampled everything. That was my one meal a day. Everything was phenomenal. But yes, you and I did not even remotely consider that a vegan would have nothing to eat besides nuts, which I did graciously offer up to Brenda and
olives. Or
Ken.
olives.
Wasn't it in? Maybe, yeah, olives. Anyway, she was like, "Fuck you, dude. Nuts and olives. This is what I came from Berlin for."
But yeah, great turnout. Obviously.
Oh, that's now we're Brenda hashtag back on the pod. Friday Fiasco.
Brenda hashtag Friday Fiasco.
The queen.
Just a fucking chill sesh with the boys, asking about how her life has changed since she came on. Tabby Thief. Some fashion talk.
Her boy Peter's debut at Helmet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just like how
more Shizer talk.
Yeah, always Shizer talk, and then how someone like you at home, right, who's looking to maybe pivot your career to become an influencer or an editor, so you can get flown out on someone like Ramova's dime for Fashion Week. We get into that as well. Exactly. How to unlock the fucking swag.
Exactly.
I was really impressed at the crowd. Like when you and I send out those RSVPs, you're kind of working uphill or swimming upstream because there's so much going on. People are in and out of town. They're in and out of other obligations.
Yeah, and who knows, like, if they even, like, who knows if they're a planner boy where they write stuff down and forget it. Who knows if they use technology because it is the year 2023 and they are like, oh, okay, yeah, I can sandwich this in. I don't know about you, whenever we have an event or any sort of, like, hosting thing in, like, personal life, professional life, the thought that goes through my head, and maybe it's like a symptom of imposter syndrome, is literally, what if literally nobody shows up?
I worry
and we're just here holding our fucking dicks in our hands, munch on olives.
Yeah, it didn't help that it started at 5 p.m. because no one is coming at 5.
Yeah.
No one's coming at 5:30. No one's even really coming at 6.
There's a slow trickle. There's a slow trickle, and then you look up and you're like, oh, everyone's here. That is honestly, like, I don't know what that is.
Imposter syndrome.
Is it?
For me, I have no worry that like the Bazaar is going to be packed in a good way. It's going to be a great time.
Dude,
I know the people love us.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
What if nobody shows up?
Okay.
To the Bazaar.
No. My point is that I know that we're the people's champs, right? The Throw Gang is always going to have our fucking backs, and when they have our backs,
so when we throw a private event where Throw Gang is not invited,
no. Let me finish. They're going to scratch our backs. We're going to scratch theirs. When it comes to our actual fucking colleagues and peers in the industry, there's just so much going on always because we're typically throwing a party or having an event that's pegged to something, a la New York Fashion Week. I'm always a little bit in the same camp as you because how many invites do you get where you're like, yeah, see you there, double heart, and then you're just like, I have no intention of showing up.
I'm not like you where I will just
You're
be
not
like,
rude?
Yes, I can't wait to be there. This is going to be the best event of all fucking time, motherfucker.
The lady doth protest too much type beat.
Well, I'm just like, yo, gonna try and make it or I'll RSVP, but not like, and if I don't make it, just follow up and just like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Dude, we had a great conversation, do you remember, with our friends Megan and Goots from Byline, which was another part of this fucking, I don't even know, this gauntlet that we ran, I guess.
Night?
Yeah, where it was like, we were talking about me and you and like how I'm the kind of the yes man, you have the power, you understand the power of saying no, and with their new project Byline, they're kind of like finding that same yin yang where Goots is more of like a no person all yourself, and Megan is kind of like I feel so bad that I end up saying like yes even if I don't mean it, and then which is like me, and then ultimately all you're doing is disappointing people more than if you just said no. Or we're
Exactly.
just honest. So
Yeah.
I got a lot to learn.
You do. We all got a lot to work on.
Oh, but we say all this to say that Vesper from Basic.Space, and shout out Vesper for making all this happen. A new friend, a new fucking partner.
Well, you know that she helped us out with the Bazaar last year, so she's actually a bit of an old friend.
Yeah, I just keep thinking about Alex being the point guy who has since moved on to, I wouldn't say greener pastures, just different pastures. Yeah. But she said to me, the big thing that stuck with me was she goes, I cannot believe your shooting percentage in terms of people that we invited the list and then people that actually came. She's like, when I plan the shit normally, she's like, I expect, she said like 40% would be amazing.
Damn.
You and I are shooting like 95% from the field. It's absurd. And maybe it was like we picked a great day, picked a great partner, picked a great venue. But, dude, she was like, you guys should not worry. And fucking, speaking of grabbing backs, pat yourself on yours because you guys killed it. It made me feel really good.
Bring them out. And we did it. And, yeah, it was just nice to have like a presence at New York Fashion Week, even though, you and I, we have our own reservations. Although this week has been, I think, more fun than the average New York Fashion Week, mainly because like we've been invited to attend more things, and we're able to kind of like pick and choose our spots.
I have a lot
real
of
quick though.
thoughts.
What are your thoughts?
No, just generally speaking, but you need to talk about the gaffe of the century.
Oh my God. Oh, this was bad. Okay.
I'm
I forgot
surprised
about
that you
this.
were like, I'm going to talk about this. This is the most, in a week where you and I have maybe had good and bad moments, this is maybe the worst moment I've ever seen. And the best is we have
caught on film.
And we have a picture of it, and you'll never see the picture because we can't dox this person, but I'll let you just tell the best story I've ever heard in my entire life.
Okay, this was.
I'm gonna sit back.
This was early on in the event. No. I need you to weigh in. I need to weigh in because I need you on this mic, buddy. I need you here. All right.
Strap in, folks.
This was early in the event. It was maybe like first of the 10 people to show up, right?
Which makes it even better.
So it's still light out. It's early on. It's mainly Basic.Space folks.
Everybody sober.
You and me. Everyone's sober.
Dude.
Okay, so this person, this woman, is making the rounds. Like, sees her like main point of contact there, is like saying what up, having that conversation, then comes over, and I'm like, hey, nice to meet you, which I need to stop saying nice to meet you in general because so many people are just like, oh no, we've met. So
Nice
I need
to see
nice
you.
Good to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah.
How are you doing?
And I introduce myself. I say, hi, I'm James. And she goes, we know each other. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no. Like, and she's like, yeah, we used to date. And I'm like, and I freeze. I fucking freeze. And like, this is honestly, I'm not, okay, I'm being real. I'm being sincere now.
Yeah, go on.
This was a kind of a watershed moment where I'm just like, I'm a fucking piece of shit.
A wake-up call.
Garbage human being. This is a wake-up call. Where it's like, this is honestly something to be taken not lightly and like a true indictment on like who I am as a person.
And maybe just fuckboys in general.
As an adult, my fuckboy past coming to bite me in the ass, although it's maybe not even past me in my past per se. She's like, yeah, we used to date. I was like, oh, what?
Yeah.
What?
Tough scene, bro.
She's like, yeah, we went on like when I first moved to New York, we went on like a bunch of dates, and I was like,
you told me the number was like 4.
It was like 3 or 4,
which is too many to then not remember.
It's 4 too many to not remember.
Yeah, well, maybe if it was like 1, I don't know. I'm trying to give you some credit here. But yeah, the nice to meet
This
you,
was fucking
and then
bad.
we know each other, maybe in the biblical sense, maybe not. Who's to say?
She's like, yeah. She's like, oh yeah. When I first moved to New York, we
How
went
do you
on, like,
recover from that?
4 dates. I don't. I go on a podcast and I spill my guts.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I am so sorry. I'm mortified right now. She's like, she didn't forgive me, and she shouldn't. At least like not in the moment.
It is a bit unforgivable.
I honestly kind of like blacked, I froze and like I went into shock because that is some like movie shit.
yeah,
It's like,
it's scripted.
yeah, we're just like, hi, nice to meet you. Oh, we dated. It's like, oh my god, some
Yeah.
Wedding Crashers fucking jock bullshit.
It doesn't matter how many dates or how long ago it was, because this is probably 10 years ago.
Well, I was like, oh, she's like, when I first moved to New York, I was like, oh, when was that? And
last week.
she's like 6 or 7 years ago, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I was like a lot. Nah,
You're
I'm
like-
still processing 9/11, like
Yeah, you're like statute of limitations on being a fucking piece of shit. Are we in the clear? That's and the best is that it's just in an empty room, basically.
Yes. Like, did you were you? Do you see what's happening? Like,
No, I didn't know until you
oh
told
yeah,
me.
and so
And then I saw
like,
the picture.
bro. So like, she's like I'm like, oh my god, I'm a fucking terrible person. And then meanwhile, I'm just like flash. I just see the flash.
Hey
the camera over
guys.
here.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh my god.
We just have a sweaty photo of when keeping it real goes wrong. And by real, I mean just really like a fuckboy.
And what's crazy is that, and what's really bad is that this wasn't even the first instance. You know what? Maybe I'm not having fun this week. This was one of 2 instances where I was confronted with being, like, directly or indirectly being a fucking piece of shit. And yeah, I guess this week is my year of realizing things. Mainly that I fucking suck. And it's bad. It's bad. But I guess we'll talk about that event, and I can just come back to this because I feel like I'm just hogging up a lot of mic space and
it's
panicking.
Fine. No,
right
people
now.
love this. We could keep going.
Anyway,
you will never see this picture because it's just too. Because your expression is.
I'm like, oh.
I mean, I'd like to say like join the cord and he'll drop it in the cord, but I don't trust any of this. Is a leaked thing. This is gonna get out.
Maybe we can.
Should we redact? Can we redact
maybe we can crop. Maybe we can crop it in.
I'll just crop your face.
Just because it's like her and then like her talking to me and then me. So maybe just like. Me.
We don't want to dox
anyway,
this person.
Dude, I totally forgot about that. And like I was like, I'm down to talk about this on pod, but I don't know. Whatever.
And I will say that I feel like the way that you told me about it, it seems like you handled it as graciously and humbly as possible because this is
credit to her because she was
yes,
just like
totally.
She did it in a way that was like fucking ethered me, but
she could have thrown a drink in your face.
In a classy,
totally fucking called for.
In a classy, tactful way where she's just like, yeah, you are a piece of shit now. Like you know that.
Part of me wonders if that sent you on into a tailspin because you just were then, I think, self-medicating the rest of the night. It was a tough scene, bro.
I didn't have a great time after that.
Yeah.
But
in a movie full of tough scenes, this might have been the toughest. But you know what? At the end of the day, your life a movie, literally. In the worst possible sense. But it was a great fucking evening. And yo, imagine that happened in front of more people or like a group.
Yeah.
That could have been way worse.
Been bad.
At least it was early on in the night. Get it out of the way, and then we can revel with our friends.
What's wild is obviously never going to disclose this person's name, but I was like, oh, I'm excited to meet this person because I'm a fan of their work. Like, legitimately a fan of their work. And like,
she's very talented, and it was amazing because, yes, you absolutely were like, we cannot not put her on the list. She needs to be invited, and here we are. You dated that amazing person.
No. She was invited by Basic.Space.
Oh, you were just happy that she was on the roster.
I was just like, oh, cool. Like, I'm excited that she because I was like, oh, she RSVP. Yes, cool. That'd be great to meet her and like say, you know, I'm a fan of your work and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, oh my god, I went fucking left real quick. Also real quick. Brenda hashtag is a Friday fiasco, but we also have Saeed Al-Rubayi, the co-founder and co-designer of
director.
Story MFG. He was in town for 48 hours, and he very graciously gave us 2 of those 48. We got a full 1/24 of this man's time in New York.
Yeah, it was. That's a great time. I'll just love his approach to being an independent designer. It's just so refreshing, and I can be sincere now, like just fucking humble, but then like the darts and just willing to peel back the curtain. It's for the heads, and you guys are gonna fucking love it. We had such a good time.
It is one of those pods where you're just like, damn, this kind of reinstills my faith in like this very cynical, very easy to be jaded by like John's industry, menswear industry. It was such a cool cool sincere cat. It was also just like down to clown.
It was an oasis of sincerity amongst the fuck shit that is New York Fashion Week, which you may or may not have contributed to your own self-ethering.
Well, the next ethering that I went through occurred, I think, the next night when we went to a dinner hosted by Madewell. No, well, it was a Madewell Art Foundation Fund dinner hosted by Chloe Sevigny. And at Raoul's, which I've never been to.
Oh, really?
And I was talking to Aaron at Parcelle. I was like, yo, I'm so excited because like I've never been to Raoul's, even though I'm like grew up here and like whatever but I've never been there.
It's not a hard res, but because it is like an iconic spot. I guess it's as hard as I want to say like Balthazar. Obviously, Balthazar has way more seats. Most people I think know of Raoul's as the place where people come into town and line up before they open because they make one burger for every bar seat. That burger is fine. I think that this is a spot that fuck lining up at 5:30 to get a fine burger is you go there, date night with the boys, martinis, and then the best steak au poivre in the city.
Damn, really?
Extra fucking pepper, brother. Well, that's how I like it. And they're very good frites, dude. Those are like basically McDonald's fries.
Yeah, good fries.
Yeah.
This
So
was
it reminded me that like I should be going there more.
right. Yeah, it's like a good like late night dinner spot.
Fire.
You know, in a kind of a restaurant desert of Soho.
Right on
But
Prince Street, baby.
It was a star-studded event.
Let
Good
me break.
Lord. I mean, we knew Chloe was going to be there, but my goodness.
I feel like we were the men's team was allotted like 4 slots. One of which went to Aaron because Aaron is like the face of Madewell Men's. Even though we met Luke, the designer, and
Luke
shout out fucking
Linzer, I want to say, who was like
the man.
I was just broing down with him.
Well, 2 city kids broing
during
down.
the whole cocktail. Well, he was like, "Yeah, I went to Dwight." I was like, "Oh, dumb white idiots getting high together." He's like, "Yo, how do you know that? Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy that like we're
Fire.
like 10 years, 15 years age difference." He's like, "It's crazy that that's like still the thing." And we're talking about his time, like he worked for Hill City,
Yeah,
the
that's
fucking
true.
greatest brand that never was. Then he did work
Shout
for
out Calvin.
for Kanye and Gap, and then now he's at Madewell, where he's
got
kind
a
of like
crazy story.
he's starting up his tenure there, along with, and he's like, you know, obviously enlisted the help of Aaron and John Teets, and like
Sure.
when Madewell dropped that fall winter lookbook, it like people went crazy.
It had TikTok in a chokehold.
Absolutely. So it is exciting to. It was cool, and obviously like Aaron's just the fucking man.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna get a drink or a dinner with anyone like from the industry,
Yeah.
and you want to actually have like a real conversation, I think like he's one of the few people that can actually
Oh,
just
absolutely. He's the
have
man.
that with you and not just be like, so what do you think about
Yeah.
Tremaine leaving Supreme?
So shout out to Madewell. Thank you, Steven. Shout out fucking Joyce. We met the creative director of the whole brand. All women, like in leadership roles, which is like a thing that they hang their hat on and something I did not know until
Oh,
she
I didn't-
mentioned
yeah.
it in her speech. Now, again, the 4 menswear slots. That's me. That's you. That's Aaron. That's Wolf. And then, dude, I don't wake up every day and go, okay, time to be a starfucker. But this was the most fire room that I feel like I have ever been in my entire life. Let me just hit the people with some names, right? Chloe Sevigny.
Yep.
Sure, right. She's the host.
And just by the way, I've never been in a room with her. When she walked in, she just like had it, you know.
Oh, dude, she walked in and you know, fashionably late to host her own party. And BFA immediately, like, this is kind of like what I talked about the other week with Adam Scott. These motherfuckers have their picture taken so much. You would think that you and I would be better at this, but talk about their 10,000 hours. She's like walking in off the hot, sweaty street. She's a little late. She needs to host this party, but immediately hits like the most fire pose and gets probably what would be the best picture of anybody normally ever taken for her. Just whatever.
The one photo that got posted of us is pretty fucking bad.
Dude, we look like fucking shit, bro.
You look like you're doing some anti-Asian
I
propaganda.
really do. I'm doing well.
You're doing like you're doing that.
Except I
without your hands.
was ghost riding the fucking.
Yeah,
I don't want to say
you
what
did
it is.
invisible racist hands. I was just like
Ghost ride the
fucking-
caricature, dude.
I was dorked up, just like
Bro, that's brutal. We
and
did,
looking and at an angle where I just looked extra fucking thick.
though we got pulled for like the VIP photo area, and you
That
and
was
I
cool.
we're having ups and downs all week. That to me was like a cool up. Those photos I feel like were fun. We were posing with
good.
an aquarium.
Those
I
would
don't
be
know where they are.
Those would be good. We'll see them soon.
And that was on you. This man always like, you're always in prop. Like, where's the prop? Give me a prop.
Well,
dude.
yeah, we need to lean on it, bro. We don't have the talent to ride to
Yeah.
prop ourselves up. We
And
need
the
the
more
prop.
things like covering our torsos and such is probably better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who else?
Okay. You want to? I've been talking a lot. Who was the number one motherfucker in the building?
Katie Holmes,
Dude, Katie Holmes.
I was like, who's Katie Holmes?
We had to temper the fucking TC stand-up because, and this is one of these people that like.
Because normally I'm just screaming about how much I love Tom Cruise.
Well, that's what Wolf said to me, and I'm like, would we be like just talking about Mission Impossible at a fucking party?
We have been a lot. I'm rewatching
But
in reverse.
Oh, that's right, you did. But there's other small talk to hit. Okay, now I'm gonna hit some names where maybe you want to break out the Googles, but Tallulah Willis, Bruce Willis's fucking daughter.
That wasn't Scout.
No,
Bruce
that
and
was
Demi's
Tallulah.
daughter. Yeah.
Rainey Qualley.
Margaret Qualley, Jack Antonoff's wife's sister.
Yep. Okay. Who else did we
Okay,
get?
why are we doing this? It's just-
Oh, I don't know. I'm just looking at Katie Holmes. Looking
You were
fucking
just like-
incredible, bro.
I mean, you're a married guy. I'm obviously like the horny one in the relation in the
Mhm.
duo partnership here. But you were just like, yo,
Oh god, I'm looking at the picture of us. Oh, Jamie Chung.
yeah,
Oh my god, bro.
yeah, she looked good. But you were just like, bro, like, oh my god, dude, like, oh my god, she's so fucking hot, dude, she's so fucking hot.
Well, Katie Holmes is so. I mean, this is an A-list beautiful person. Like, Google how old she is, because like.
You were like, bro, she looks so good for her age. I'm like, damn, Lawrence, like,
Can I say that?
Yeah.
Which is, I guess,
I'm
what
like,
I'm
we're
saying
mixed
now.
company here.
Yeah. It was just. I was blown away at her just pure unadulterated beauty.
Well, the whole room was just tens.
Yeah. Oh, and Naomi Pierce from Succession. What's her fucking name?
I don't know, but she was honestly
dude.
like.
See if I can find her name. Man Repeller was there. Whatever, she was canceled.
I was texting my boys. I was like, "Yo, Naomi Pierce from Succession's here."
Annabelle Dexter Jones. God,
nice.
Damn, I'm trying to do lines with her in a helicopter.
She's also just like, I think, well, because of the Succession, like Vapors, just like the coolest sighting there, probably.
Also, Zoe Lister Jones. Google her, you would recognize her face. We're just in this. We're these fucking. Here's where the imposter syndrome comes in. Fucking trolls in a room full of like the most beautiful, influential women from just fashion and Hollywood, and I'm like, this is. I'm happy to be here.
I had to ask you to lower your voice a few times.
Yeah.
You're drinking, and I was just like, Lawrence, like...
Well, we were...
Well, I was sitting next to you, I'm just like, yo, my ear hurts. Like,
yeah.
Stop screaming,
At a certain point in the night, you were having a very interesting personal conversation with... with another person, and that was my cue to maybe pop outside for a little dart too.
Before getting into that, it was just tens.
Oh, it was basically Madewell's March of Dimes.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't want to save that. Fuck, good call.
Queued you up there for a few
when I dropped it off the dome in the Uber, I did get a lot of laughs from the fucking peanut gallery.
From the chuckle fucks.
Yeah.
It was a night of ups and downs. It was like a lot of fun, just hanging. You know, we were at a table with Aaron, just like shooting the shit with him. And then again, this is another thing where it's like I don't want to. We're not going to name names, but there's another conversation with fucking old Jimmy over here where the woman's just like, hey, like you treated me like shit. Like you were like really bad to me. I'm just like, I know, and I'm taking this moment to like say sorry and no excuses, and you don't have to forgive me, but like it was like it started out kind of like in the foretop, and then I think Aaron had to go do like schmoozing duties.
Thank God.
And you were like, well, at first you weren't, and I was like, oh, Lawrence, do you want to go smoke?
No, because I wouldn't. I was like, because I'm just pinned in the booth, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. But you did sit your sexy ass down and listen and take accountability.
Oh yeah,
finally.
Yeah, it was like
this is I can't believe this is back-to-back nights in a row. Like
back to back.
If this happens to you once in your lifetime, you're like, I gotta like shape up or ship out here in terms of like how I approach 50% of the population. Maybe I don't know about.
I'm not trying to sleep with 50%. I'm not trying to sleep with all women.
only the hot ones. Yeah. I can't believe that you had these back-to-back nights.
I didn't realize it was back-to-back. And like, look, I think that they were. One took me obviously by surprise. The other one was a bit like, oh, okay, this is a long overdue conversation.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Glad we had it. But it was, and shout out to this person for like their direct honesty. She's like, yeah, you treated me like fucking shit. And I was like, you know what? I did. I'm so sorry.
You know what? You're right. Yeah, you were again gracious and humble in the when I had to witness that car wreck.
Was it bad? Like from
no. It was a conversation between adults. You're right. The reason I didn't want to be there.
I saw you just like. Peppercorns.
God, one more steak frites. No, for me it was just.
Yo, here's your most. This is the wildest example of Larry people pleasing I've ever seen. We get yanked up to the VIP, get your photos taken, get your portraits taken for Madewell's internal use, whatever portraits, and we're making small talk with the crew. And they're like, how is it down there? And we're like, oh my God, the food's so good. What did you guys get any food? And like, no, we haven't gotten anything. And you're like, and look, I'm not saying this is a bad quality. I'm just like, bro, like, why are you doing this? You're like, oh, yo, I'll bring you up my steak. And I'm like, what? I was like, we can tell them to like send you up some food, but like, you're like, yeah. I'm like pretty much done. I'm like half done. I'll bring up my steak and fries. You can have some. And like, Lawrence, like, one, why? This is insane.
Don't talk to these people.
No. Like,
yeah, you're right.
I was like, don't talk to the help.
Don't make eye contact.
This is insane of you. Also, you're not going to do that because you're a hungry boy that wants his steak au poivre.
That was my second meal that day. I actually indulged.
And it's also just like, who are you to assume that she wants your half-eaten leftovers?
Yeah, it was funny though. Later that night, like from across the restaurant, I just see someone eyeing me, and this woman lifted up her plate to show me
we got food.
I got it. Hey, don't worry. I got it.
Yeah.
Salute to you, sister.
Yeah.
I hope wherever you are, your belly's full and your heart is full as well.
I hope in several years you don't have to confront me again for treating you like shit.
No. And what I would say is the reason it wasn't even awkward for me. Like I kind of had some some backstory here on like the other thing your other fucking situation earlier. Just didn't want to be a fly on the wall for such a direct and honest and open conversation that needed to happen with two people. It was an A and B conversation, and I needed to see my way out of it. That's what it was, and I think I got out of there just in the nick of time.
Yeah, but again, it was for the best. Ended up great.
Yeah,
great evening, great dinner,
awesome
great
time.
hang.
Shout out Madewell. People were like hitting me up, being like, "Yo, is this a free dinner or is like Madewell back?" And I'm like, what internet are you on?" I'm like, the article on GQ speaks for itself.
Why is that a question you feel like you can just ask Lawrence?
Well, because as a people pleaser,
it was the one time that you were posting your own photos.
Well, I mean, the steak was incredible. The fucking drinks were flowing. No, dude, people fucking treat me like they know me and they know they're gonna get a response. So I guess I've kind of like listen, bro. I've set myself up for those kind of messages, dude. I'm a victim of my own honesty and openness.
Well,
and people pleasing, even when it comes to fucking civilians.
The whole night was kind of like the full spectrum of like, I don't know, like New York menswear, fashion, whatever you want to call it. Because we then hopped in the Uber and said, "Driver to Bushwick, take us to the Cash App Marshall Columbia rave."
Yeah.
No, not a proper rave.
No, it's a.
It was in like
rave.
it was in a Bushwick warehouse. We hopped out the Uber. There was immediately a pile of human feces that we had to jump over. Some fucking ketted out dude just starts screaming, throwing fits at us from like across the road.
He was at an actual rave.
Right,
I was in
he
like
was
a fucking it looked like an airplane terminal.
Yeah, we couldn't like necessarily find the place. We eventually get to the brand activation rave, where I guess there was like a dinner beforehand that was like hosted by Maddie Healy's girlfriend, who's also Maddie Healy's been making cameos in our fucking.
Well, I was gonna talk about him later because whatever. I'm gonna save it.
Okay, so we get to the Bushwick Ass Rave, which is a place that I don't know if you've ever like done this type of activity. We certainly have not necessarily done it together.
No.
It's
not my crowd.
Awesome.
Oh, dude. I mean, it was like how you felt at Bruce is how I felt. It was life affirming. And we talked a little bit about this with Brenda. All fucking corporate New York Fashion Week sponsor adjacency mode aside, like this is a room of I don't talk to people less than 10 years younger than me ever. Everyone in this room was between the ages of, I would say, 21 and 24.
You were the only guy at the Bushwick rave with a blazer on.
No,
I will say that.
Wolf was wearing a blazer too because he tagged along. Yeah, so that tells you everything you need to know.
You and all Larry clones were the only people wearing blazers at the Bushwick rave.
I was just flabbergasted at the crowd because, I'm just like, well, I on one hand, I'm like, this is amazing. Everyone here is fucking going for it fully.
Fashion-wise.
Yeah, and just letting their personalities fucking breathe and be the biggest, most beautiful version of themselves ever. And I already know everyone was fucking sucking and fucking at that thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was...
Which makes me feel good. Fills me up. Pause.
It was...
No pun intended.
I don't know why, but it made me feel like okay, in today, and we talked about this around a little bit, in today's like landscape of, cultural fashion, not the capital F shit, and not like contemporary menswear, there isn't like a dominant archetype. But I think what's emerging maybe as like truly the dominant archetype is this kind of like raver Y2K 2000s British, like, almost like extreme athlete type aesthetics built in there. And to see it's funny when it's just like a meme or an individual and you're just like, look at this fucking guy in the crazy Jenkos. When you see a room, and this is true of all style tribes, right? When you see a room full of people,
it's awesome.
You're just like, yo, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And it was very like affirming to be like, and just cool to be like, yo, these people are just enjoying it and they're devoting themselves to like this aesthetic and the associated lifestyle. And it was just like very cool to see. I think you were self-conscious about being old, but I was like, yeah, that's just the reality of it. We are like 10 to 20 years older than everybody in this room.
Easily. But the kids are all right.
I've never seen in one room so many male ass cheeks, except for like a locker room, I guess, and just female identifying people's nipples.
Tits out, cheeks out.
See-through shirts are the yoga pants of 2023.
Yeah, it's just the confidence that this generation, these Zoomers possess. It's a fucking otherworldly superpower. And right, for me, the double-edged sword is that it makes me so amped, but then at the same time, I'm just so fucking self-conscious, which doesn't help. I actually did find myself, regrettably, in a conversation with two 23-year-olds that were asking me questions, and every answer was met with absolute flabbergasted awe. Where
How stupid you are. Or
how old are you? I said 36. What? 36? Damn. What? Like, it's, why are you here? Where do you live? Bed-Stuy. What? Why would you live anywhere but Bushwick? Like, who, like, nice blazer, who makes that? Giorgio Armani. What? What's Giorgio Armani? It was fucking brutal, though. The one benefit.
One of those people did recognize. She recognized you from? She came up to you. She's like, "Oh, are you James from Throwing Fits?"
She knew who you were. She did.
Yeah.
Though, and then also, so not only were they fucking screaming in my face about how fucking whack and old and lame I am, in a fairly nice way because she did know who we were. I got sunned with new slang, which has never happened on me before.
Which wasn't even. I think you're just too fucked up because you were like, I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
You know that? So to the audience at home, and I don't know if maybe the bros listening at home have heard this, but prepare yourself because when you come to the bazaar, people might be snoozing on you. Apparently, that's the thing where you tell someone enough things that are whack and corny, the response is, "Oh, I'm snoozing on you," and you do it.
Well, night.
It must be a thing that was stolen from gay men. It feels like absolutely like
which is probably stolen from black women.
Yes.
Which
is stolen from gay black men.
So what? No, it's black women first.
Black
so
women
what I'm
first.
hearing is that you will be saying
Black women and children first.
You will be the trickle down is now. You will be saying I'm snooskiing on you for the next like
snoozing on you
6 months.
I'm snoozing on Bed-Stuy. I'm snoozing on Giorgio Armani. I'm snoozing on you.
Well, I came over. I came over and you were like, "Yo,
snoozing.
They're fucking snoozing on me, bro. Do you know what this means?" I'm like,
"Yo, what the fuck? I'm getting snoozed on over here."
I'm like, "Yeah, that kind of makes sense."
Yeah, of course you could use context clues, but I was like, "Wait, what is even happening?"
But then you were like.
I don't normally get made fun of directly to my face.
My favorite
in the middle
moment,
of a dance floor, an illuminated dance floor.
My favorite moment interacting with these two 14-year-olds.
They were both 23.
Okay.
I have not spoken to a 23-year-old in 10 years.
What about, like, I don't know, ordering like Taco Bell or something?
No, I do. No, it's contact.
Oh, you do it through the app.
Contactless delivery.
Do it through the app. No, there's a moment where you like quoted Kanye.
Yeah.
I think you said...
I hit him with a swag Healy.
You said, I'm speaking swag Healy. And they're like, what? That's the funniest thing I've ever fucking heard. And I'm like, oh my God, Lawrence. These kids have never listened to like, early, mid-career
really,
Kanye.
Yeah, they just bought his sneakers when they were in high school.
They bought his sneakers when they were in high school, and like know him as like Kim Kardashian's ex-husband.
And a psycho anti-Semitic
and an anti-Semitic freak who got Toppy on the boat. Yo, I was like, yo, you realize that this just unlocks, like, anytime you're talking to a Zoomer, you can just quote Ye, and then they're just going to be like, oh, my God.
Bars!
This guy's hilarious. Yeah. This guy has bars for days.
So then I snuck in a little swagoo as well, just that now I knew what I was working with, But, yeah, that was pretty funny. They literally thought I had come up with swag Healy.
Like, you should get a recording contract.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Damn.
Tough. Honestly, it's always fun. Tough scenes the whole week, dude, but also a fun time.
The rave was a lot of fun.
Yeah, very life affirming for sure.
Yeah, and it was cool. It was also cool because the people that produced that rave are producing Bazaar, so it was cool to be like, oh shit, like these guys are about it.
We're turning up. We are reusing a lot of these plus ups.
We're not, but okay. Continuing on the New York Fashion Week journey, we went to a show Saturday night. That was actually like I was like. Shout out Jesse Hudnut. He was like, yo, you should be like at this show.
At Calslada.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, cool. You've put the batter in back. You give me the confidence to like actually not feel like an imposter. What's the email? Email them. Yeah, to ask for an invite. He's like, just swallow your pride and do it.
Yeah.
Did it. Got seated.
Second row, baby.
Seated. You were like, oh, second row. And I'm like, bro, this is like a fashion. This is like a fashion show.
You actually gave me some great perspective where you were like, bro, why do you think we deserve front row at Calslada? And when we saw who we were sitting behind, that became even more crystal clear for me.
We were seated immediately behind Lucas Sabat and Tizo Touchdown.
Oh, yeah. We're in the background of a lot of BFA and Getty pics.
Which you are like leaning out. And like,
I don't want to be in it.
Well, I was like, bro, lean in. This is hilarious that if we're in the background, like not making like dumb faces, but like if we're just
bunny ears.
Yeah, exactly. But you're like, it's even worse if you're like trying to like get out.
Yeah, I was kind of, it's shameful to have to then see to look at the man in the mirror later when those pictures eventually make it online. To some degree.
I was like, yo, don't you know Luca? You're like, yeah. bro. We fucking text. You know,
I got his number.
Yeah, we fucking. Oh,
I got his number, bro. Oh, dude, we could talk. We'll
talk
talk
about
about that. Yeah, that's my worst one. But yes, I know Luca. I've known him since he was a child. They're like talking to YG, and
there were moments where they weren't talking and they were just like on their phones, or just like looking around. And I'm like, Lawrence, like say something. I think that you have. Maybe it's because you once were New York Fashion Week royalty, sitting front row and getting streets out and shit. Now you're just fucking, and I never really give a fuck about that as much as you clearly. And now you're relegated to second row.
I'm old.
You refuse to ask for invites, so I have to ask for us and forward you the information.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you. No, here's
and then I'm like, bro, just like, talk to him. And then finally turned around, and he like dapped us up. And I was like,
no,
there you
for
go.
Sure. I pick my spots. I try to be laser specific with the precision when it comes to the star fucking, because that's the thing. As much as I want to be in a room and then rifle off the fucking roster on pod, I also don't want to be like the guy.
I'm shy.
Yes, a little. I am a little shy. I'm a little shy little boy.
I'm
like
shy.
Haley Williams from Paramore's there, and you're like, "What's Paramore?" Which was incredible.
I'm like, which song is like
Paramore?
Take me out to Paramore.
Well, that's it.
All his bands, all this.
Can we run Paramore Misery Business as outro music?
Sure,
thanks,
buddy.
bro. But anyway, so I'm not going to do that. Though I will say that despite you maybe caring less about celebrity, and maybe this is why, you are pretty good at like finding that lane and then, fucking reminding Tizo Touchdown that he might have been on a certain podcast.
I was like, yo, Tizo, I love the album. Have I listened to it? No, but I love that that
Drake is
talked about
promoting
it. I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it has some bangers. I saw
Yeah.
Jelani talk about how much he loves it, so I'm sure it's good.
That's how you know.
I'll listen to it eventually, but I was like, yo, Tizo, I love the album. He's like, oh, thank you, bro. Dap me up. I was like, yo, I don't remember this, but like you were on our podcast. Like with like Montclair, when you're doing Montclair Genius and Alix.
Well, it was Matthew Williams.
Matthew Williams?
It was his jacket that was in Montclair Genius, because there's a bunch of geniuses in
Right, but I don't know if
Genius
it was
Brain
Alix
Trust.
or...
It was Alix.
Okay. Or just Matthew Williams or whatever. And he's like, oh, yo, what up? He goes, and look at me now, sitting front row at the fashion show.
No,
and
he said at my first front row at Fashion
Oh,
Week.
really?
Yeah,
No,
it was his
come on,
first-
he said
that's what he said.
I was up on that.
Which,
and then some big dick motherfucker cut in, which I'm so sick of, by the way. I don't know what it is about me that gives off. I mean, I know what it is. It's that I'm Asian, where people can feel like they can just come in and interrupt me when I'm talking to someone.
Well, we were second row, so it's like, yo, you're second
But this
row,
guy
so
was
no.
standing.
Yeah.
And this fucking old fuck cuts in. He's like, yo, Tiza, and like, whatever, this old white guy.
But
yeah, dude.
When you were talking about like my status or memories of Fashion Weeks of yesteryear, that was men's Fashion Week, where guys like me and you maybe had a little bit of status or a little bit of clout. And now that era or that type of thing doesn't even exist anymore. Like the one menswear thing, or two, it's like Connor McKnight is doing a presentation, great New York designer, then our boy Angelo Urrutia, right? Because, these are New York designers that are, and I guess Angelo's whole thing is like tied in with the CFTA and all that stuff, and you got to show face, whatever. We're not going to get into the politics. But now that kind of shit doesn't exist anymore, my imposter syndrome of going to like an Eckhouse Lotta show and, having to be in a room with like real people that actually matter in the capital F fashion industry, not like our little fucking niche lane, which we dominate because we're big fishes in a small pond. So when we go out into the ocean, sometimes I feel like I'm paddling without a fucking life vest.
Well,
what's the idiom?
There's two people in the canoe, brother. And if you think you're alone, just look back and watch me fucking steering the rudder and paddling right along with you.
Yeah. So I'm self-conscious, and again, everyone's young and hot
Well,
and
also,
cool
you know
and
what?
influential.
Okay, you know what? Maybe a little self-conscious is Robby, the Throwing Fits Grom.
Yeah.
The newest member of the Fab Five, our fucking
who also now has been working on the show for like 5 years.
our favorite ginger son. He pulls up and he's like, oh yeah, I think I'm standing. I'm like, no, dude, you're front row over there with the whole Essence team.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh my God, our Grom has cucked us.
Yeah, this should come as no surprise to the audience at home, but the status you get from being the social media impresario and the editor at the most powerful global e-tailer in the world versus being the social media editor impresario at the only podcast that matters, one of those things is more important than the other. And we'll get you C111 versus E220 and 19.
We're like BB219.
Yeah,
we had the BBL.
Oh, also, though, I will say it was nice for him to, as a consolation prize before we got cucked, was he did give me a Zyn'd. And I think I'm the only person who's been Zinning at New York Fashion Week.
No, that's not true.
Zyn'd York Fashion Week, baby. We're here.
And then okay,
and we're
but then,
fucking buzzing like bees, boys.
But then, and then the last thing about the Ed Castellata show is that like there was another affirming moment, and maybe this does instill confidence in you, where we immediately bounced because we were sitting right near the exit to like this amazing venue, by the way.
Matt, I saw our friend, a friend of the show, Matthew Schneier, who I think only had ever been on the previous podcast endeavor that should not be named. But he's like, this is my dentist's building. Like it was literally where it was like the middle of Fifth Avenue.
It was like an Art Deco Rockefeller Center like lobby with it was pretty cool.
Oh, and real quick, can we say that the Eckhouse lot of menswear, even though like again this is more, I think more of like less of a like definitely not hashtag menswear. This is like a little bit more conceptual, definitely more queer, definitely more downtown, and I think maybe cooler in a certain way than like this shit that we usually do. The men's clothes are really fucking good, dude. There's a lot of dope shit.
Yeah, there's some pants I want.
Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to give credit to Eckhouse Lotta. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. Shout out Mike and Zoe. So we scramble out because we're like,
it's the Lego store.
Well, what do people do after fashion shows? They fucking mingle and it's another like dick measuring contest or like taking photos of each other, whatever. Mm-hmm. We just bounce because we're like, all right, we want to go to this other party and then go home, and we want to link with Robby because so we'll just wait from outside. But then like a bunch of people came up and they're like, oh, can I get y'all's photos? And that was cool. And the best part about that, not beyond just like giving us a shot of like confidence and
for sure.
self-worth.
Much needed for some of us.
I don't know. Come on, dude. Only one of us has been confronted to their face several times this past week about how fucking shitty they are of a person.
Yeah, I'm confronting myself more than anything, but yeah.
Everyone's just talking about how skinny you are. Was anyway,
guys.
a new career highlight for me is that I was able to get a T-shirt in the pages of Vogue Philippines, and the T-shirt, it says, it's a photo of a monkey in a suit holding two guns and some bullet holes, and it says, if you're going to fight, fight like you're the third monkey on the ramp to Noah's Ark. And brother, it's starting to rain.
The John Wick incel tee.
I can't believe that's now in Vogue
Philippines. Yeah,
which is one of the better international Vogues.
And I guess this is a really good lesson for the audience, where it's like never be too proud to stand up for yourself. In our case, request an invite, throw a fucking shot out in the dark, show up. Maybe it's not the best look for you. Maybe you're not front row. Maybe Tizo Touchdown doesn't actually remember you. But you know what? Someday you do all this, all the dominoes fall. You could end up in VoguePhilippines.com.
Yeah, with a fucking troll shirt on.
Shout out to that photographer. What's his name? Martin? He's cool.
I'm not sure. Martin, I think.
He knew who he was. And I love it. We're like, when you sent me the Vogue link, I'm like, because we saw our boy Phil O there, who is the Vogue US street style fucking guy. And I was like, oh shit, pays to know Phil, because Phil is our guy. Having some very interesting conversations about pornography with that man, which I would love to get him on the pod. Do you think he would do it?
I think we'd have to find. I think he's a very busy schedule. But anyway, yeah.
But
yeah, you're like, shout out Phil. I'm like,
you're like, no, it's Vogue Philippines and it's that guy.
Yeah,
I think his name was Martin. Damn, now I feel bad.
I was like, do you not remember that Phil wasn't shooting us? Because he's like, yeah, fucking.
He's like, yeah, it's too dark. Yeah, great excuse, bro.
Okay.
Shout out to
So
us.
we pile in a minivan. That was cool to get into a minivan at the cool fashion party. Good job on that.
Yeah,
and
my bad.
We hightail it down to Dime Square to go to a Lacoste 90th anniversary on the rooftop of 9 Orchard, which is, I mainly wanted to go not because I fuck with Lacoste, but like I was like, oh shit, it is a 90th anniversary. They're going to be pulling out all the stops.
Yeah.
Which I guess all the stops means renting that rooftop space, because we were told by someone that it is very expensive and that their very large company can't. It's never.
It's like out of their budget. It's mainly for like if you are a billionaire in New York getting married, or your kid is having their bar mitzvah or quinceanera or whatever. You rent the rooftop and you just fucking blow it out.
Yeah,
that's like what it's for: wedding receptions and bar mitzvahs.
Yes. We pull up. I just want to say shout out to Sam Hine for being honestly one of the nicest guys. Not only did he just like come to our event on Wednesday, but we saw him at Eckhouse Lotta. He came up to us. He deigned to enter the realm of the second row, and be like, and had questions about the Bazaar.
Yeah, Sam is a great guy.
And he can't make it, but he was like, very excited about it. And we talked about like him getting involved next year. I wanted to ask him about like whatever. He's like just the nicest guy. We pull up to Lacoste. I accidentally walk in ahead of everybody with Annie Hamilton and Robby, and he like goes out and like gets bracelets for everyone.
By the way, I also did this with him. We did this for y'all.
But you wouldn't have done that without Sam. Like Sam was definitely like, "Hey, I'm Sam Hine. I need bracelets for everyone."
Well, Yeah, but you guys then would have not been able to even get in. You would have just been fucking milling around, taking up space.
Whatever.
Anyway.
But yeah, I just want to say a quick shout out to him because he was like, got to talk to him a little bit up on the roof. And I think it's like he has like his swag is too hard where like people might have their assumptions about him, but he's just like the nicest, chillest dude.
He has resting bitch face because he's too hot.
He's resting bitch drip.
Resting twink face.
Yeah.
I will say it's very cool that despite having him on the old show and asking him if him and his brother have ever had sex together, that he still fucks with us to this day, which is great.
I don't think we asked that. I think we asked who has the bigger penis because you're identical twins.
I thought then it just became a thing about banging your identical twin. Is that basically masturbating? You know, the age-old questions that philosophers have asked since the dawn of man.
Right.
If you fuck your identical twin, is that just masturbating?
I guess genetically, yeah. But yeah.
Socrates, I don't know about that one.
Walked in and we it's a big celeb heavy show, but like I think for the first time I was kind of starstruck where
you saw an icon.
Venus Williams is just getting snapped up at the step and repeat. First of all, so tall.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend was like 7 feet tall. I don't know who that was.
Yo, whoever that guy is, because we were trying to figure it out. They're not public, so he's not. You can't Google it. No one knows because she broke up. She dates tall guys as a tall queen. But this guy, no one. I don't know who he is.
I was just like blown away.
Tyler Hero.
blown away that one of the goats was truly in the building.
I missed this because I was again being a good guy, getting you and Robby beers and for you seltzer.
I know, which took forever.
Bro, well, there was one of those things where when you go to one of these events, this is a lot of good intel for the audience at home, despite like just gossip and fucking name dropping, which is the majority of this episode. At any event, there's always going to be fashion event, specifically in our case. There's going to be multiple bars. Do not ever go to the first bar. Everyone always bottlenecks the first bar. I promise you, there's a second bar in the back, and I need to learn my own lesson. That is going to be absolutely wide open.
Good call.
Yeah.
Smart stuff. Unbeatable intel.
Good shit.
Unbeatable drinking recon.
Yo, honestly, we should just title this pod "Good Shit." Dude. This is good shit, dude.
I was having a fun time, and more so than I expected. I saw Dev Hines. I was like, "Yo, we have a mutual tennis homie,
tennis Riz
that you play with, that I play with." And then we started talking about the tennis camp that I went to,
Ooh.
and I couldn't really tell, in the moment, like as a civilian, like you're stoked. I can't tell. And again, this is maybe just imposter syndrome sneaking up again. If you're talking to like a legit guy, like a public figure,
a celebrity,
if they're there, they're being paid to be there. Obviously, they're being paid
He's
to
wearing
wear
head to toe
They're being
Lacoste.
paid to wear the clothes.
He's wearing Lacoste sneakers.
If they're there and like they're there to interface with people to make them feel special, and they have to be like friendly, and they have to be like smiling, and they have to laugh at your jokes, or if it was like a genuine connection, I really could not tell.
Dev Hines is being paid by Lacoste to entertain me like a true Make-A-Wish child.
I mean, you love. We got to start a Make-A-Wish count with you.
Yeah. There was 2 this time because it was the Bazaar and then you.
But yeah, I mean, I chatted him up at first. Some guy cut in, interrupted me, took him for photos, but then we were actually chatting in like the little like spire gondola thing. But again, I couldn't tell. I was like, yeah, like it was like we were making jokes and making funnies, but again, it's like I don't know. But one person that walked in where I immediately fucking like pimp slapped you to get your attention.
I mean, I think the collective necks of the party were broken over fucking the most beautiful knee like Bane, bro.
Yeah, Emrata walked through.
Come on.
And you were like, is she the baddest? Is she the baddest?
Yo, real talk though, is Emrata the baddest? Is she the baddest in the game right now?
Fellas, weigh in. Is Emrata the baddest right now?
Is Emrata the baddest? Well, first of all, again, like Dev Hines being forced to wear Lacoste sneakers, and actually his fit was like kind of hard. I don't know what Venus was wearing because again, I was at the fucking wrong bar. They have Emrata trotting around in a tennis skirt. I'm not trying to be a misogynistic cartoon horny wolf. But Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Awooga.
The alligators and the crocodiles, whatever the fucking logo is, they was a chomping at the bit.
Yeah. Awooga indeed. And then, okay.
Awooga!
So she's just like standing there, right?
And take it out.
She's just standing there like hanging out with her friends. And it occurred to me like no one is ever going to go. Like, none of us is ever going to go and walk up to her. Like, me, you, and Robby, we were just fucking... we were like dudes. We were dudes rocking. We were just like, yo, is she the baddest right now? Yo, who else is... Who else is coming for the top baddie spot besides Emrata? But it was like... I was like... This occurred to me. I don't know if we ever talked this out or if this was just in my head, but I was like, how would you even deign to attempt to rizz up Emrata? Like,
don't
what
know.
could you
tell me, bro.
What could you even try and approach her with or
would-
open with?
Maybe use some Kanye lyrics.
Maybe.
How old is she?
I think she's like in her 30s.
Yeah, she might be too old for that to work. For that old trick.
You gotta
That
use-
new trick.
You got to use Tizo touchdown lyrics.
Honestly, I'm an old dog who was taught a new trick. But yeah, dude, bro, I don't fucking know. I famously have zero game. The fact that I am fucking married, at least I'm not getting fucking ethered by women at events, right? That's like the benefit there. But the downside is that if I had to raise up the baddest in the game, Emrata, if my life depended on it, I am fucking dead as a doornail, dog.
I know. You couldn't rizz away with a paper bag.
What,
But
dude?
it was like, it is, like, obviously, she's had public relationships with, like, other public figures, but I guess that's,
She
dude,
looked
how would you
incredible.
even, what could you even do?
She had a kid?
She has a kid.
She looks so good.
Because, I wanted to,
Jesus Christ.
I can go up to, I wanted to Tizo, I wanted to Dev, and obviously have, like, these are dudes,
Yeah.
and they see the fucking drip, but, they,
They saw your fucking Noah's Ark troll shirt.
they're like, yo, sick joke shirt off Amazon.
Yeah, right. Sick $10 T-shirt, bro. Did it come with a free bowl of soup?
And it was always like
Caddyshack.
some mutual connection or like, hey, we actually did that shit.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I would love, fellas, weigh in. How would you rizz up the baddest in the game, Emrata? Like, what would your opening line be? Because obviously the answer is you had to be kind of like introduced or like set up through like mutual acquaintances or whatever, and you had to like probably already be known to her as a known entity.
Happy birthday, Lacoste.
But that was crazy.
Thanks
Happy
for
birthday,
thanks for
Lacoste.
having us. It is cool though. Like at the end of the day, right? Whether or not you even like have the balls to just step closer to Emrata to just catch some
A lot
vapors.
shorter than I expected.
Yeah. Totally.
A lot
I
shorter.
agree. Robby said that the angles, the up shot that she loves, that upward ass shot when she's modeling her swimwear, he goes, that's like a very strategic angle. In real life, you're looking at a 5'6" short queen, 5'5",
5'6" shouty.
5'6" shouty, a short shouty. But I will say
5'6" baddest in the game for real.
Yo, baddest in the
Awooga.
game for real. Awooga. It was cool to kick it with you and Robby, towering above Dime Square on the most expensive, exclusive rooftop in maybe the 5 boroughs, just asking if Emrata is or isn't the baddest in the game.
He's yelling from the fucking rooftops, is Emrata the baddest
We
in
had-
the game for real?
I don't know what is about me, you, and Robby, but I feel like more so than any other because Robby's not single. But anyway, it is interesting that
That
when-
permutation is
when
the
the
horniest.
three of us, bro, it is only dudes rocking the horn. I'm embarrassed to even talk about anything else that was talked about, especially up in the fucking Spire, dude.
Hey, yo, who else could be the baddest in the game right now for real?
Yo, the 3 horniest wizards casting spells out of the Spire, dude, on all of Dime Square.
Yeah. All right, and then after that we linked up with Goots and Megan from Byline and went to Zach Bia's party where you had your most embarrassing moment of the week.
Yeah, should I share? So basically, Goots' whole thing is that, and she was very forthcoming. I'm not like putting her on blast. She's like, for whatever reason, Bia thinks I'm the coolest girl in New York City. So I was like, okay, well, now I'm only going to ever refer to you as that, introduce you as that to people, because not that I disagree or anything. I'm just like, that's an amazing moniker to have. So the coolest girl in New York City and her byline partner Megan was nice enough to bring the 2 co-hosts of the only podcast that matters to some fucking underground multi-level
Bro.
club. What the fuck was that?
I was like,
Lucy's?
This is a fire hazard. We are 7 floors underground right now.
Yeah.
This is some
With-
nuclear bunker shit.
With 5G, with
How do I
perfect
ser-
5G.
how do I service right now?
Yeah,
That was crazy.
It made no sense. But so she's like, Bia told me to pull up as the coolest girl in New York City, and I was like, oh yeah, like I got Bia's number too.
Yo, I know Zach Bia.
So we're waiting outside for maybe 2 minutes with that's got to have been the craziest door at New York Fashion Week. It was a fucking.
Well,
it
was
looked like
all-
a goddamn Travis Scott concert.
Well, it was a
dude.
club, right? So it wasn't like but it's multiple clubs. It's not. It's like there's like a ground floor
Got
shit.
it,
there's
right,
like
right.
multiple.
I thought
lines.
everyone was there for that party. Luca and
I saw.
Bia.
I think there are multiple things happening, but I saw people like literally like passing like
Yeah.
wads of cash to the bouncer,
Mhm.
like a hot dog at a baseball game. It's just like going down the line of hands.
Yeah.
It was a bit. I was just like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah,
I
so
hate this.
So the shy starfucker in me came out where I was like, you know what? Let me also follow up. Let me check in with Zach.
Let me double click on Bia.
Yeah, let me double click with Bia, with the king. So I texted him. I was like, I don't even think dude.
Did it go through?
I have his number. This is really embarrassing. This is funny. So anyway, Gooch is like, I texted him. Maybe it's not so bad to follow up. I said,
You should say that right now.
I said, "Ayo, broski, I'm outside with Goots right now." Open hand emoji, crying, smiling emoji, open hand emoji, and he just texts back, "Goots is good." Now, luckily for us, Goots was able to finagle a +3, so we go in. When I did see Zach Bia as we walked in, I definitely went in for like the, "Yo, what up, dog?" And he just walked right by me, and you witnessed this whole thing. I had to hit him with just a little shoulder pat. "Hey, great to see you. Good game, kid. Good game.
God.
I'll see you out there. I'll see you out there."
Damn.
It was brutal, dude. I have never been so looked through as a transparent human. Listen, it's dark in the club. I've lost a lot of
pale skin.
I've lost a lot of weight. It's been a while since he checked in with us on the pod on Zoom, and then before that, I hung out with him a bit in LA. So he probably didn't recognize me. But
Okay, yeah.
I have never felt less of a human being than at that moment. And the fact that you had said you just laughed directly in my face, dude, it was bad, bro. It rocked though, because I get to now share with you guys, and we all get to laugh at my expense as per usual.
I relinked with Tizo touchdown. Said what up again. That's my boy now.
This is the Starfucker app. I love it, dude.
Yeah.
That's what your fashion week is about, though, because we get to mingle with, bro. All right, Maddie Healy is in the club. Robby, you cannot clip this out. This man, whatever you thought he was going through in his post-Taylor fucking breakup, cancellation, they almost got trapped in Manila. We heard this whole fucking story from Robby. Malaysia. Where's Manila?
Philippines.
Malaysia. Where is it illegal to be gay?
Malaysia.
And shout out Jordan, friend of the show, Maddie and the 1975's photographer, who was kind enough to just fucking pull up on us all week when he was around. Yeah. But anyway, this man was so absolutely shit-faced and frolicking around the club, following his new girlfriend as if she had a golden vagina. Yeah, and I was like, this guy is fucking crushing it. Fuck the media. Fuck T-Swizz, even though I am a Swiftie. This guy's living life.
He was sauced,
hammered.
His shirt was like barely on, not like it was open and like he was like a rock star shit. It was like half unbuttoned, but like hanging off one shoulder.
It was open season with the flannel, bro.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Sundress season for our boy Matty.
Having a good time.
He was having a good time, and then shout out Fish Money. He was posted up at.
Dude,
he actually like
another king
granted us entry into like the Lucas Sabat table.
Yeah,
where it's like. It's like, yo, we're at Lucas Sabat's table. Yo, I want to go home.
Or everyone's like, why are these guys at Lucas Sabat's table?
Yeah.
It's like, no. We're with Fish Money, bro. We're with
Fish was very much just like, and there was a moment where I was like, wait, which one is Fish Money? There's like, I'm seeing 5 Fish Monies here. But he came up and he like asked someone to like tap me on the shoulder and come and tap us up because he was like very stoked that we were there and very happy to hang out. And he's awesome. And I had a fucking 24 hours later, I had a weed burp from hitting his blunt. That was dude. Like, I haven't smoked a blunt
extra
in
gas
a decade maybe. And I was just like,
so old.
Like, I'm watching the U.S. Open. Djokovic is like, what the fuck? Like,
my man hit a blunt for the first time in 10 years, and it fucking hit back 24 hours later.
I literally was holding the L, and then the L hit back.
The club. And
we're not club guys. We're not club guys.
No.
Well, we're rave guys. We're rave
guys now. I will say that it is better to be in the club to hear like Cardi, if that's what you want to fucking bop around, and if that's what you want a white boy bop to. It's hard to like, for at least for me with limited dance moves, to kind of groove at the rave. I mean, I'll still do it, but I definitely feel like if you think I look uncool at the club, I definitely look less cool at the rave.
Hey, at least you were wearing a blazer at the club, because at the rave you do the thing where you hold up your blazer tails and you just kind of shimmy a little bit.
That's a good move. Yeah. I'm surprised you mentioned the mistaken the cases of mistaken Fish Money identity, because you were drunk enough that I watched you approach 3 guys who all have a similar haircut to Fish, completely different hair color. And what's amazing is you never said anything specific. It was more like, you're the king, you're the man, thanks for having us. And all these guys are just like, it's Lucas' table, dude. But you did it like to 3 successive people before you finally tracked down the actual king in New York. If Hugo's not the mayor, Fish Money is. Shout out Fish Money. I mean, it was very funny to see you try to go 0 for 3.
One fish, 2 fish, 3 fish dap. Yeah. The club, like, just generally speaking, like, the club is like sensory deprivation.
Oh, it sucks.
You know, where it's like, I can't hear anything, I can't see anything. Yeah. I can't fucking understand.
You can't move. You're fucking locked in.
You can just do this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It kind of reminded me again of just like you and I have never we've been in that type of situation a bunch, but it's just never it's like
It never lives up to what you want it
vodka
to.
soda, you look like a bitch if you put some cranberry juice in there, It's just fucking
A-list sightings aside, hitting blunts with fish money aside, free. If you like vodka cranberry or vodka Red Bulls, all free drinks aside, the club, to me, at least in New York, it's always, like you're saying, such a better idea. And then getting in, you feel really cool. Everyone's like, who are these guys? What's the deal here? And then you get in there, and the second you go and you spend $60 on 2 Coronas and a margarita, you're like, what the fuck am I doing here? I am too old for this. Yeah. This is horrendous, and I need to go home.
Yeah. Great way to end the week.
Yeah.
And then just watch football and sports for 12 hours on Sunday.
Fuck the New York Giants. You didn't even fucking show up.
I know.
What the fuck, boys?
I know. But
are you ready for some fashion?
So, yeah, moral of the New York Fashion Week episode is be nice to women. Because
yep,
and
that's the moral of the podcast.
Keep open lines of communication and be vulnerable and put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And be respectful because you never know when you might be able to rizz up Emrata, baddest in the game for real.
For real.
Sham, take us out.